Okay, Coach Kelvin Sampson is here along with Jamal Shead and Joanne Roberts. Coach, when you're comfortable, if you could please start us off with some general comments about the game.
I liked our first shot defense. After that, not a whole lot to like. TCU is a really good offensive rebounding team, but I was disappointed with our physicalness and blocking out. We're playing small. Without Arsenault, without Tugler, and without Walker, those are three of our better rebounders. So we're not as good a rebounding team as we were. People say, well, we're this rebounding team. We're not that team anymore. That's probably where we missed all three of those guys. The two games Arsenault, previous two games he played before he tore his Achilles, he had 19 rebounds. That's what he does. He's a really good rebounder. Walker might be our best offensive rebounder per minutes played. Tugler, probably he and Roberts are our two best rebounders, period. So I know we're not as good a rebounding team, but just disappointed with tonight. Even if our guards can't get it, that's okay. Just make sure they don't. Be more physical with your blockouts. But, our defense was good. Thought we shared the ball well. When you get in tournament day, you win the game. You don't spend all your time trying to rehatch it or autopsy it or worry about it. Just win in advance. That's what we'll do.
Okay, we remind you to raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you, and please identify yourself as well as your affiliation. On the left, on the front row here.
Juwan Wilkunkel with Fox Houston. When you hear Coach talk about you guys not being physical and not being a good rebounding team right now, do you take that as a personal challenge going forward as a big man?
Yeah, definitely. Just, knowing that we're undersized, we start, how tall are you? 6'1", 6 foot, 6'5", 6'7", 6'8". We probably one of the smallest teams in the country, but that should never be an excuse to rebounding. And knowing me that I'm a natural rebounder, that's what gets me going. Not scoring or getting touches or whatever. Rebound is what fuels me to do everything else on the court. So just being a leading rebounder, just basically just go into the game with no ego and just try to fly around. Just do my best to impact winning other than scoring.
Let's go to the fourth row on the left.
Justin Williams from The Athletic. Coach, you've talked this year about maybe thinking that Jamal wasn't getting the credit or attention that he deserved for the way he was playing. Between some of the conference awards and the way the season has gone, do you feel like that's shifted a little bit?
I don't know if I meant he wasn't getting the credit deserved. It was after the Iowa State game, and I had seen some people that have since started watching this play, I guess, because I saw somebody put out their best 6 point guards, and he wasn't even on it. So I didn't get upset about it. I just want to remind him, you may want to watch the point guard for Houston. He's pretty good. Not that those other kids aren't. They are. But he's pretty good. But, we're not exactly a media darling. Sometimes when you're not one of those guys, you don't really get looked at a whole lot. And that's fine, except, if you've got kids like Jamal or J1, and if they're deserving. If they're not, then they're not. But if they're deserving, you certainly want to fight for them and get them noticed. But to answer your question, Justin, I think he is.
Got a question on the front row on the right side here.
Coach Sampson, Stephen Johnson, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Forgive me, I just wanted your perspective. You veteran coach, obviously have a successful program. I was wondering, could you kind of just speak to what you've seen from the job Jamie has done at TCU, building that program well to where they could actually guys beat you and, compete with you guys today?
What was the last part?
Shouldn't say compete with you guys today, but I meant just how he's built his program up to where.
Well, it's nothing about us. You know, we won a bunch of games this year that we could have easily lost. So we're not running around here thinking we're God's gift to Big 12 basketball, because we're not. We could have easily lost at BYU, at Texas. There's other overtime game. Baylor. You know, sometimes you got to put yourself in those positions to win, and we have. But I've always admired and respected Jamie Dixon. I really have. He's somebody that I've known for a long time in this business. You know, Jamie's been an outstanding college coach for a long time. I remember when he was at Pittsburgh, and the job he did there, and now coming home to his alma mater and job he's doing now. I think the sign of an outstanding coach is, especially like Jamie, is doing it every year. You know, he's got his team in the hunt every single year. If you were a player, you'd have to run a shuttle or having your phone on, but I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
But if you had your phone on and we were in a meeting like this and it was one of my players, I'd be in trouble.
Somebody's trying to tell me something about our next press conference.
Yeah, just make sure it's off. But I think Jamie's one of those guys that, when you think about a really good coach, you think of Jamie Dixon.
Let's go back over here to the left, and then we'll come back to the right.
Jamal, you've been part of deep NCAA tournament runs. Obviously, you guys had a lot of success in the regular season. Being in the Big 12 tournament for the first time, any different approach from you or the team in general from what you maybe done in the past in the AAC?
I think for the past 4 years that I've been here, we approached every game the same. You know, like we said at the beginning of the year, Big 12 is just a lot harder competition at a consistent level. But no, nothing different preparation-wise. You know, we try to look at our matchups, identify something that we can do to help us win, and then try to go out there and execute. So our preparation is usually the same, just about going out there executing what we work on.
Jawan, you know, after losing TCU back in January, and now with this game here, and this being the only, you know, loss that you guys haven't avenged, of course, there's enough motivation being in the tournament, but was there a little extra juice for you guys going into this game at all?
Not really. We just kind of treat every game the same. You know, it's not, this game is more important than this other game. You know, every game is important the same way. And we played them probably early, you know, January. And we just saw them again. And, you know, I feel like when we played at TCU, we just probably didn't execute how we were supposed to. We ended up losing. So just playing them the second time is just adjusting. And like Coach always says, you know, it's not, we're playing against TSU. You know, it's not playing against TCU. It's just looking at your matchups and trying to win your matchup. And that's basically what we hang our hats on. You know, if Jamal's guarding so-and-so, you know, dominate your matchup and dominate whatever it is. And it's just how we approach every game.
Coach Pete Christie from KCBD, can we just get your thoughts on facing Texas Tech now in the semifinals tomorrow?
Yes, another team. It's been so long since we played them. I have to go back and look at the film. I remember Jamal played really good. I don't remember a whole lot about that game. I think Texas Tech was our second game or third game. So that was, 15 games ago. And then our next one was Tech. But Texas Tech is a lot like TCU, outstanding coach. But that's this league, isn't it? Everybody's got a good coach in this league. They're all really, really good coaches. Great home court advantages is what makes our league unique. But, you know, like them, they probably won't remember a lot about us until they go back and watch film. We'll go back, watch film, figure out, come up with something that we need to do, and go play them tomorrow.
Okay, we got time for two more questions. First one will be here on the right.
Greg Eklund for AP Broadcast. Coach, you use the term media darling. You're number one, you're regular season champion. Why don't you feel Houston is a media darling?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's not that important either. I mean, I probably shouldn't have said it. It's kind of one of those throwaway statements. I don't really care whether we are or not. I'm just glad we beat TCU today. At Texas Tech tomorrow, we'll go do the best we can. That's a game that we certainly can lose. You know, Texas Tech's good enough to beat us. We're going to certainly have to play a lot better than we did today.
Okay, last question. Right here on the left.
Coach, you mentioned some of the injury struggles you guys have had this year. We saw Kansas shut a couple guys down this week in preparation of getting them ready for next week. Do you have any concerns with kind of the grind that this conference can have when you already have a little bit of a shorter roster?
We thought about it. You know, we have no margin of error. We're playing a kid right now that, in all reality, should have redshirted, shouldn't even be playing. Started playing basketball when he was 15 years old. He just has no experience. He's a freshman that we had no intention of playing whatsoever this year, and now he's our first big off the bench. But it just so happened the 3 guys that we lost all played up front. We didn't lose any of our guards, which is our issue with rebounding right now. That's why I don't overreact to it. If somebody will lead off their story tomorrow about our rebounding, that's not the story. The story is we won, and that we're still turning teams over, and we're still playing defense. In the second half, we were better, but Juan had 10. Juan's had games where he had 20. He's probably going to have to bump up, and we'll talk about that. He and JVA are going to have to rebound more. Maul's had games where he's had 10 defensive rebounds. That's got to be more of an emphasis. But, when you come to a Big 12 game, first-round game against any of these teams, they're all good. They're all really good. You win by 15, you just move on to the next one, man. I'm not going to spend 2 minutes worrying about any of this stuff. Just get ready for a really good Texas Tech team.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much.
All right.
I'll call you about that shuttle.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to see that.
Do a couple deep minutes.
Yeah,
We'll
all right.
How about that?
That sounds good.
6 defense.